This is another DAM podcast about digital asset management. I'm Henrik de Boer. Today I'm speaking with Emily Kolvitz. Emily, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. Emily, how are you involved with digital asset management?
I'm involved in digital asset management as both student and practitioner. I'm finishing my MLAS at the University of Oklahoma and also working full-time in the field. So I currently am a digital asset manager for JCPenney at the home office, and I've also worked on digital projects outside of a formal DAM environment in an archives and also a museum. Recently, I have become very involved in the DAM education and DAM community, and part of that is a desire to contribute to the field. And another part of that is just me segueing into the next phase of my life.
Emily, how does a national retail chain use digital asset management?
My company uses digital asset management for a variety of reasons: works in progress, distribution, and also brand management. In my specific area, we use digital asset management for works in progress and also on final finished photography for marketing assets. The DAM is fairly new, only a couple of years old, and it's really only been hard launched since last November. There's a lot of building going on right now. Basically, it's such a large organization. There are actually multiple DAM environments, and we are positioning ours as the enterprise DAM, but we still have a long road ahead of us. In terms of other DAM systems, there are some that make sense in terms of what kind of content is kept and described, and also the perks of that specific system. And then the different challenges of the type of content we're talking about. As time has passed, we, the various DAM managers, have crossed paths, and it's been very rewarding to speak to these people and find out what we have in common and where we can help each other out. There have also been systems that didn't really provide value for the organization and were duplications of content, and I've worked very hard to get rid of those systems. So they've been shut down, and that's because we have been lucky to have very strong senior leadership and buy-in behind our DAM. I think what's really interesting about my organization, or any large organization trying to wrangle their content, is just the sheer number of assets you're actually talking about, and then also the number of DAM systems actually used by the organization, because many times it's often multiple DAM systems.
And what are the biggest challenges and successes with digital asset management?
The biggest challenge to digital asset management is change management. Everything else is a problem that can be solved logically, and people are more tricky than that. The second biggest challenge, I think, is probably that DAM does not happen in a vacuum. There are more than likely other digital initiatives in your organization, and sometimes being able to see a bigger picture, even bigger than digital asset management, can help an organization implement control over information chaos. So this means information governance should be part of the digital asset management strategy, or perhaps the DAM strategy is a facet of an overall digital strategy or information management strategy. It's been very difficult for me to stay in my DAM bubble, so to speak, in the corporate world, because as an information specialist, it is so glaringly obvious all the areas that could benefit from information governance. Yet there's only one of you, and a DAM manager has many hats to wear. So that's kind of what I feel are the biggest challenges to digital asset management. Successes, I guess getting buy-in feels really good. Growing your user adoption, that's very rewarding. So anytime you have even just, a slight increase in user adoption, that's a big success, and you should take time to celebrate it. And then speaking of that, with your successes in digital asset management, I think it's okay to brag a little, because it's part of the advocating for your DAM. So usage reports and celebrating that kind of thing, I think, is good for DAM managers to do.
And what advice would you like to share with DAM professionals and people aspiring to become dam professionals?
I think read everything you can get your hands on and don't get married to a system. There are many sources for education pertaining to digital asset management, and many of them are community, vendor, or organization-based, not necessarily subjected to the rigor of scholarly publication and peer review, which we kind of talked about previously. It's important to be skeptical, I think. Verify the facts for yourself. Inspect methodologies, and don't get sucked into buying something because of someone putting the weight of authority behind it. And I also think that you should trust your gut, because you can usually tell when information is info fluff versus substantial information that adds to your understanding. And then the part about the dam systems, so we are usually the ones enacting the change, and we're not the ones who have to deal with it, I guess, because we're starting the change. But I think you have to be cognizant of this may not be the best solution long term, and you can't marry a system. It's not about the technology. Digital asset management is so much more than that, and you need to constantly be benchmarking your dam, inspecting your practices, and getting better and better so you can grow as a digital asset manager.
Great. Well, thanks, Emily.
Thanks for having me.
For more on digital asset management topics, log on to anotherdamblog.com. Another Dam podcast is available on Audioboo and iTunes. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to email me at anotherdamblog@gmail.com. Thanks again.